Hello and welcome back to another Another video. Today we are talking about what's next after Frida, and it could be Garrett. Actually, it could be two winter storms. So let's get right on into it. So starting off here on the NAM 3 km model, here's Frida, but I want to focus on the southern part for a second, right? Because right after Frida leaves, we kind of get this very deep plunge of cold air. This is important. So we also have a little bit of moisture, and this starts to interact, and we get some snow in areas such as Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, areas that can have winter storm warnings named with very little snow. So most of these areas, 2-3 inches, and they're naming winter storm warnings. So already this could be a winter storm just because of that metric, as well as passing by Memphis and Nashville. But this storm isn't done. As you can see, it is pulling up from the Gulf and eventually from the Atlantic as well. And although this storm does not impact the Northeast, we can consider it a nor'easter as it is moving up that direction. But look at that. Heavy snowfall in areas such as Kentucky, West Virginia, North Carolina, Delaware, Maryland, even into New Jersey, and eventually this storm moves off the coast. So that time frame, right? So this starts tomorrow, and into Monday we see the storm hitting Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, areas in the south. Then this storm shifts into the mid-Atlantic on Monday into Tuesday. But that is the first storm, so let's take a look at those snowfall totals. Alright, so here is the snowfall totals for this storm, and you can see here areas such as Memphis could get 1 to 2 inches, areas in northeast Mississippi could get 2 to 4, areas near Nashville could get 1 to 2, maybe even 3, but then you move into Virginia, Delaware, southern New Jersey, Maryland, where you could have a widespread 6 to 10 inches of snowfall stretching all the way back into the southern Appalachians in North Carolina, as far north as Cape May in New Jersey, before the storm eventually shifts off the coast. So no major population centers except for DC, which would be right on the edge, which there is a tight gradient there between no snow and 6 inches of snow. So there's a possibility that DC becomes one of the target areas. Just a pure shift could do that. But Philadelphia not involved. Neither is New York or Boston. They'll be too far north. But this storm could produce a healthy swath of 6 to 10 inches of snow, maybe even more in some spots, maybe even 11. But that's not the only storm that could have significant impacts. Let's take a look at the European model, which is showing not just that storm, but another nor'easter. So here is that storm, and the European model really doesn't have significant impacts from it, but the NAM does. That's why I showed you guys that. But after a quick hitting rainstorm that brings in that setup storm, right? We talked about this 1-2 punch of storms. This storm system is strong enough to put in place the cold air needed for this low pressure to pick up moisture and drive it into the northeast, into the cold air and the snow. So that moves through, and that rapidly intensifies. You can see 1,002 there, and then in 24 hours, which is about here, so 972. So rapidly intensifies and moves off the coast. So that's a quick hitting storm, and that is going to start producing snow in the Rockies. See, it moves onto the coast of Washington Tuesday into Wednesday, moves across the country, and produces some snow in the Midwest on Thursday, but the main event is Friday. So let's take a look at those snowfall totals. This is assuming a 10-to-1 snow to liquid ratio. So you can see here, there's Frida, there's our little nor'easter in the mid-Atlantic, and then the main event showing 10 plus inches of snow. So Boston, 10 inches, 10 to 12, in fact. New York between 8 and 9, 7 and 9. Philadelphia is right on the border, as they typically are with these storms. So 2 to 7, depending on where you are. And then areas such as DC are in the 2 to 4 inch range. But this could be a very significant storm. We typically start to see most of the Northeast start to tap into snow around January, February. So this could be the start of a new pattern that brings the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, which have been lacking any major snowstorms this year, plenty of snow. So that is all the information I have as of now, even though the first system that we talked about has more details on it. It has the NAM3 than the second system. Both of these are still up in the air a little bit, so not definite. But if we do see that first system get named, it would be called Winter Storm Garrett, and it would probably get named either tomorrow or Monday. So we'll see, but that is all the information that I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell. That's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.